I forgot to message you, Mod. How was your meeting? How was your daily morning meeting? Did you take a photo of the food? Are you allowed to send me a photo of the food, or is it confidential? Hello everyone. Sorry, I didn't mean to just speak to my mod, but I made a commitment last night to wake up, say good morning to her, and then ask her about her day because she had a very important meeting, and she also was going to expose what her workplace feeds people, which I think is interesting to see. I always like seeing every place's different lunches. It's weird, but basically, I like watching these types of videos here. This is my favorite type of video genre to watch. You can tell I'm kind of tired, so just bear with me. Uh, but yeah, what? Let me. Well, I need to switch over to this. How? What meeting? Did you get to eat? Did you stick a photo? Okay, this is my favorite genre of video. Let's do. I don't know. Like, what's a random LinkedIn office cafeteria? LinkedIn office cafeteria. The What the hell is this? There's a 200 view video. Wow. Why is it filmed in shaky cam? I've never seen this. This is filmed in shaky cam. It's as if somebody snuck this out of prison or something. What is this? It's like I'm watching a manifesto video. Why does it look so terrifying? Anyways, welcome to today's stream. I've got some weird things on the stream today. So just be careful about what you're going to see. It's not adult only, but it is not. It's not safe for work either. I think it's gonna be okay to view. I just need you to know you will feel embarrassed if your boss sees you. If your boss sees you, then you're gonna be embarrassed, right? 76 views, 184. Does no one care about like LinkedIn? Is LinkedIn not a hot place to go? Tech employee shares video of her being fired. Damn, I was in that same chair. You're in the cuck chair now. But yeah, today is going to be a very interesting day because I also have a test for you all. So all of you get to take and partake in this test. It's a very important test that I found that is also based on some real science. So usually the test that I make you guys take is not based on any real science. It's usually based on some shit like, I don't know, which Sonic character are you? And do you enjoy Sonic? And what is your favorite Sonic, right? But this one is actually a real test that I want you all to take before we start because I think it's a very important test for all of us to take. And also, I want to know exactly what my answer is compared to this. This also feels like a video that is smuggled out of like a prison. What is this? Well, these are like prison videos. Why is LinkedIn? This is the ultimate prison video. If you cut all of these together, you could make a backrooms style video from just LinkedIn. And you just have them running down even like more and more backrooms offices. No, not backrooms offices, real. Real backrooms offices. We found the real life backrooms. Here we go. So like something like if you cut into this scene, I think it'd be an amazing video. Anyways, but yeah. Also, I found this. I had no clue that this was still alive. If you don't know, this is a open source rewrite of Windows. Apparently, this thing is still going. So much so that the last update was in March, and it's actually interesting to see because I still don't understand what this is. Like at this point, how in parody are you with Windows itself that I could drop this in and use it? Right? I don't really know. Who? I remember you, Mister or Mrs. Her. But yeah, we have a lot of things to go through today. And again, I only have 4 hours today. So the next couple of weeks, I only have about 3 to 4 hours. Well, I used to say 4 to 5 hours, but I think it's more 3 to 4 hours. Also, Mod, you didn't tell me. You didn't show me your food photo. You didn't show me your goddamn food photo. Take a photo of it. So we need to keep on moving on. So unfortunately, dog, what is my notification text? Well, you'll understand once you actually see the game that we're playing. But before we go into the game, we need to go and do a very important test for all of us. Oh, okay. Sorry. Is it because you weren't allowed? We need to take this test together. This is the Epworth Sleepiness Scale. The Epworth Sleepiness Scale is actually a real test that people do. Your doctors give you this test, and they use this test to help as a first step to figure out if you should go for a sleep study. I didn't know about this. And I figured we might as well do this together because you may be suffering from sleep apnea and you don't even know it, or at least sleep deprivation. Wait, what? Yep. So use this test. This is a very important test. You, especially Mod, you should send it to your boyfriend. Have you found out what Sonic you are? Wait, what? Wait, you weren't there? Where is it? Sonic personality test. You are suffering. Your right ear is clogged. I hate that. And the worst part, there's no way for you to undo the pain of the ear getting clogged. Okay, we'll do the Sonic syndrome test too. Everyone, we will also do the Sonic syndrome test. There's no way for you to undo the pain of you being having a clogged ear because every solution is basically useless. Because if it's clogged by earwax, you put water in, it gets more clogged. But if you use the mineral oil, you have to sit on your side. It's still not really going to work. Or let's say you get clogged because it's just like your ears popped and it sucks. OMG, it's so hot outside. Yeah, that's why I'm inside right now because I don't want to go outside. So for context, the mod and I are currently suffering through a heat wave, and the heat wave is it's hurting us good. What food do we eat? It was I think it's 30 plus degrees, which I know doesn't sound that huge. Celsius, not Fahrenheit. If it was Fahrenheit, it'd be cold. So 30 degrees Celsius. I know it doesn't sound that cold, but you have to understand, Canadian heat is a very different kind of heat. It's not. It is the driest heat. No, is it the driest or the wettest? It's the worst version of heat where it's just so hot and there's no way for you to cool down. And there's no clouds at all. Like it's just pure sun the entire time. It's one of the worst heats I've ever had in my entire life. That's why I'm staying inside the entire week. You're scared. It doesn't hurt right now, but your friend says it can stay for a week and it'll hurt later. It will. And it can. My clogged ears usually stay for 2 weeks. And it sucks because let's say you wanna like, flap your ears around to listen to things, right? Any movement causes a sharp pain. So you might be doomed. If it popped because of pressure, it'll go away soon. If it's clogged because of wax, it's not gonna go away soon. Do not do any weird tricks. Don't do the candle trick. There's a trick that you can do, a trick, quote unquote. Don't do this. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. Where you heat up a candle and you put your ear over it so the earwax melts. It doesn't really work well, and you have a higher tendency to melt your eardrums off. I'm not even kidding you. You can melt a hole in your eardrums and lose your hearing forever. Don't do that. The mineral oil is actually the safest one, but if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. Same thing with the Dexo something. So it's kind of it's there's a lot of different solutions, but the only way to really guarantee that you're safe while they fix it is to go to an ENT, ear and nose throat specialist, and hopefully you get the ear specialist and not the nose or the throat specialist. Can I say something too? You have brain surgeons, you have orthopedics, so foot surgeons, but you have ear, nose, throat surgeons. Why didn't they just make 3 different specializations? I don't want the guy who works on my ear to then work on my throat, because I don't know if he would know what to do. I don't know. I don't know if the guy who works on my ear knows exactly what to do on my throat. You know what I mean? Like how it's like, at least with the brain surgeon, you roughly know that they're all good at brain surgery, right? Or with the foot surgeon, orthopedics, you all know that they're really good at foot surgery. But the guy who works on the ear, nose, and throat, I don't know his stat distribution. Like I'm not really sure if it's actually, like a good stat makeup for the operation that I need. You prefer 30 degrees Fahrenheit. I think we all do. Wait, how much is 30 degrees Fahrenheit to 30 F to C? So -1, I actually prefer cold too. Yeah. I mean, the cold is always nicer. Something about just nice cold weather. Like, it sucks that you have to wear more clothing, but you can always take the clothing off wherever you want to be. Whereas in the summer, you can't get any more naked. Like, I'm naked right now. And I can't get any more naked. It's impossible. You slept in your ear too hard and woke up too hard. Did you get the lines on your face? My wife and I always say, my wife and I always say that we always have like the lines on our body when we're sleeping good. So you woke up and it was clogged. You don't know if wax or pressure. If it feels clogged, as if it's suddenly hearing much worse, then it might not be earwax. It might be an infection. No, clogged like holding it closed. Yeah, then you have earwax. It's just earwax. I doubt it'd be an infection. I think you just have earwax, and when you sleep on your ear, it heats up the wax, so it falls down, and then it eventually like builds up in the bottom portion of your ear. So you just have earwax. Anyways, all of you can do the sonic test if you want. We are going to do the Epworth sleepiness scale. Hello, everyone. How likely are you to nod off or fall asleep? So this is the test itself. I was gonna get you all to like go find this yourself, and I realized that the link is way too long. This is from the CDC. Obviously, this is not like a full scientific thing. I just want to see all of your answers, okay? How likely are you to nod off or fall asleep in the following situations in contrast to feeling just tired? This refers to your usual way of life in recent times. Even if you haven't done some of these things recently, try to work out how they would have affected you. It is important that you answer each question as best as you can. Use the following skill to choose the most appropriate number for each situation. I'll do this in Paint because I can't really do it otherwise. I can't really fill in the numbers not in Paint, so I'll just do it in the Paint. This is not the full. Well, it's fine. Damn, time to wait for a week. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. What I like to do is this is a hot tip. Take a hot shower. Doesn't it depend on the time of day? Well, so maybe not for you, because this is the interesting part about this test that I've heard is that it actually depends entirely on you, where you might feel tired regardless of the time of day. You know how some old people can just fall asleep on the sofa, and they just fall asleep on the sofa, and they can just keep on falling asleep on the sofa, and it doesn't matter if they're watching a Jason Bourne movie or they're watching what's that movie involving the nuclear scientist guy who built the first nuke that we dropped on someone? What's his name again? Oppenheimer. Sorry. Eisenhower is the guy who ordered it. Oppenheimer, right? They will fall asleep in either situation. So for some people, it's worse than it's worse than what you're referring to, which is the more normal version of it I've ever heard. So for me, for instance, when I'm sitting and I'm reading, and the chance of me sleeping, this is like a 0. I can never actually fall asleep while reading. But I can also never fall asleep while sitting. I think if you sleep while sitting, you're insane, because I don't know, that doesn't seem comfortable. So what's the definition of nodding off in this test? Just nodding off. How likely are you to nod off or fall asleep? Whatever the definition of nodding off is, that's the definition of nodding off. Your score is 3. Okay, well, you have to. Wait, your score is 3. What did you answer? Wait, can you send a screenshot of your total things? Oh wait, but you're at work. Okay, well, just which ones did you score in, and which categories? Watching TV, would I ever nod off? I actually do very often. But yeah, think of nodding off as whatever the definition of it is. I know that's a roundabout way of saying it, but the way that this is using it as in fall asleep. Well, buddy, I'm in the middle. I can't Google it for you. Nodding off. What is nodding off and heroin? I'm not even kidding you. These are my first results, okay? I want you to tell me the difference in these results. What does nodding off on heroin or other drugs mean? What does nodding off due to drugs mean? And then you finally get to the real definition, okay? What is the meaning of nodding off? It's buddy, I don't need heroin. I don't need heroin to begin sleeping, especially not intensely. After a busy day, we both sat and nodded off in front of the TV. Watching TV, I fall asleep. Sitting inactive in a public place. I don't think I've ever fallen asleep in a public place, although I did fall asleep on a bus once. And that was a terrible experience. But otherwise, no. As a passenger in a car for an hour or more without stopping for a break. Yes. This is my bane. This is the bane of my existence. When we were going to our friend's birthday party, and she was driving me, I fell asleep. I actually fell asleep until she started talking to me, and I was like, If you're very tired, you slept for 24 hours, you can begin having microsleep. But is it the same as night off? You have now complicated the test. Take it as you will and just do it. You have now complicated the test. Take it as you will and just do it. You figure out your definition of nodding off if your situation is complicated. We don't have the answers for you. Oh, okay? You are now overcomplicating the test. The test is a simple, quick measure to see how sleepy you get. If you don't feel like you're nodding off, then say no. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. You've answered your own question by saying that this is not you nodding off. You know what I mean? Like you've answered your own question. I don't know what to tell you. You figure out your circumstances. You figure out what is your average circumstance, and then you figure out what is your average response. I don't live your life, man. Lying down to rest when circumstances permit. Lying down to rest when circumstances permit. I actually always nod off whenever I get a chance to lie down. But not always. It's like, it depends. If I'm going to the bed for the goon sesh, like not really. If I'm going to the bed because I feel kind of tired, I'm gonna KO. Sitting and talking to somebody, never. Dude, can you imagine having a conversation with someone and you're in the middle of talking to them and all you hear is, it's like, what the? Are you okay, man? Sitting quietly after a meal without alcohol, yes. Pretty high, actually. Well, higher than usual, I think. In a car while stopped for a few minutes in traffic, or if this happens to you, you would die. So what do they mean by nodding off and circumstances? You're overcomplicating things. Add up your points to get your total score. A score of 10 or greater raises concern. Well, you get some concerns and some circumstances, right? Some of you do heroin, some of you goon too much within bed. That's up to you. I'm going to say it right now. The mod was up for a while last night. They were busy playing games and then they disappeared and they said, I got to wake up at 6. And guess when their last message was, if they want a full 8-hour sleep? 10:53 p.m. Their last message was at 10:53 p.m. for a 6 a.m. wake time, which means they got less than 8 hours of sleep, which means we don't know what they were up to at that hour, okay? I have a score of 246. I have a score of 7? Is that bad? 7. A score of 10 or greater raises concern. You may need to get more sleep, improve your sleep practices, or seek medical attention to determine why you were sleepy. Okay, well, now we go into the actual other portion of this test. So the other portion of this test is actually the most important portion, the scientific definition. So all those questions that you had, I didn't want to answer because I didn't open the link yet. You guess you have 0. Oh, no. 0 is good. 0 is good. 0 means you never fall asleep in a bad way. So this is the other portion of the test, which is you go to a website like Cleveland Clinic. By the way, apparently Cleveland Clinic is one of the most well-known clinics in the... this is a real clinic. Yeah, you mean L for me. Oh, yeah, true. And we see exactly what the reasoning for all this is. So first, let me just copy my test. And we're going to see how this is. Okay, so the Epworth, yes, even you have heard of it. Yeah, but you probably, okay, so most of you have probably heard of Cleveland Clinic because you Google stuff like, oh, I have a pain in my back. What does that mean? And then Cleveland Clinic says, it might be a sign of spinal cancer. You may need a spinal tap. It's like, what? Of course you know. We're all hypochondriacs here. We all seek detail and information in larger things, and we seek to break things down because we seek to know the answer. It's like we all seek to understand what is nodding off. You know what I mean? Like all of us would do it to each other, even though we get mad at the other person for doing it. Yay, cancer, yippee! The Epworth Sleeping Scale is a short substance to identify how likely you are to fall asleep during the daytime. 8 questions. They focus on common scenarios that may make you sleepy to the point where you'll fall asleep or doze off. Proper definitions are important for having meaning and full conversations. Skibbity riz gat. Your answer for each... Skibbity riz gat is honestly, I think, a new full sentence. Like, you know how... is it the Webster or like the Cambridge? There's one dictionary every year that says, what is the word of the year? I think Skibbity riz gat should be like a sentence of the year. Like there's new constructions of sentences that you can have now that don't make any sense, right? Like, hey man, you want to go to the goon sesh? It's like, what does that even mean? But that's a full sentence. You could even, I think nowadays the level of goonerism within the world is so high that you could just look at somebody, say goon sesh, and they just drop their pants and go, yep. It's a proverb. It's a proverb. You know what? You've been reading too much of the Bible. You've been reading too much of the Bible. I know the shadow has been reading way too much of the Bible. They went on a giant discussion. I think it was on Discord or maybe it was on Twitch, where they were saying how now that they've read the Bible, they've begun to recognize the Bible in other pieces of media. And I need to I'm telling you right now, if you recognize something as a proverb, it's time for you to step away. Okay, like you need to put the Bible down. It's not working for you, man. Also, for the Gooner thing, what's funny? So last night, my friends were absolute Gooners. So we were watching somebody. Most of my friends have not seen Marvel Rivals. I've seen Marvel Rivals. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Marvel Rivals, Emma Frost. What's like a good image that I can show? Yeah, the X Revolution skin. This is a good skin to show. Times of India. What? So Times of India, the hottest place to get gameplay news somehow. This is multiple times now. We've gotten a link from Times of India. The Emma Frost is this character within Marvel Rivals who looks like this. It's very grainy. So this is my version of like, you know, the Japanese hentai censor here. Okay, this is my version of the Japanese hentai censor. And when they saw the character for the first time, they were like, holy shit, she's hot. Because if you don't know, Emma Frost, this is what she looks like in game. Emma Frost thighs. You were listening to my stream while nodding off on a bus, but you perked up as soon as I said Emma Frost. Can you show again? Okay, fine, I'll show you. Let me show you. What the Okay, you have to see this, chat. Chat, you have to see this. This, thank you, crunch time animation. This might be the best video I've ever seen in my entire life. Just look at this. It's got the nut. It's got the nut. It's got the nut. It's got the nut. It's so good. I'm gonna send that to everybody. Woo-wee. That's a good video. That's a really good video. Holy shit, that's an amazing video. Wow. I would not have expected that from any portion of this game. But yeah, that's basically what happened. I'm surprised, mod, that you know. Although to be fair, the mod does play Sims 4 with like the weird Dark Desires mod or something. So yeah, so this is the Epworth scale. A healthcare provider may use the Epworth sleepiness scale to identify how daytime sleepiness affects you, measure how the symptom changes before and after taking medication or starting treatment. Determine if further testing is necessary. It's not a diagnostic, it's just an assessment. Exactly. See, it's just an assessment. This is not some real shit. This is some semi-real shit. Okay, everyone, we're just here to figure things out. So, what did the results of the Epworth sleepiness scale mean? It's the results scale from 0 to 24. 0 to 5, low daytime sleepiness, normal. 6 to 10, high daytime sleepiness, normal. What? Why are they both normal? I don't understand why they're both normal. If they're both normal, what does that mean? Doesn't that mean that neither of them is actually normal? Isn't it supposed to be only one normal state and then 4 abnormal states? If you have 11 to 12, you're excessive. 13 to 15, you're moderate. 16 to 24, you're incredibly bad. When should I know if the results are abnormal? What are the next steps? If you score 11 or greater, you may need to change your sleeping habits at night. Your healthcare provider may run further diagnostic tests to see what causes you to feel tired during the day. When should I call my healthcare? Getting care? Hypersomnia? What? How about erectile dysfunction? Can I search it up? Erectile dysfunction. Holy shit! I got a link for. Okay, no joke. If you search erectile dysfunction on Cleveland Clinic, you get like a Chinese article about erectile dysfunction. That's so cool. Everyone here is so healthy and normal. Wow. I know. I'm actually surprised that all of you scored low. You scored 30. The other person scored like 0. I'm surprised that most people here are scoring very good because all of you are basement dwellers. So the fact that everyone here has scored better than me, that says something about my state of being. And maybe I'm not, to be fair, I've always thought about this. And do you want to know something that I've always thought about? You're not the one streaming. This is not to say that you can't be streaming, but specifically, I'm the one who's weird because I'm the one who's on camera right now. Excuse me, sorry, you're outside right now. Triumph emoji. Well, you know, I've never seen you leave the home, okay? Sometimes, like, you show up at a party, and I'm like, I've never seen you leave the home. I don't know. You agree. I actually, yeah, see? It's even though I make fun of all of you for being weird, I'm the one who's streaming live. Like, I'm the weird one, technically. Grass Lord. That Grass Lord emoji. There's something weird about that emoji. I just can't believe that that's a real emoji that exists. What is even Grass Lord? What is Grass Lord? The stream database. What the hell is a stream database? No, I need the origin of Grass Lord. Now I'm the real Grass Lord. Giga. Daily Giga, the forgotten mascot you don't remember. Who the fuck is Grass Lord? What? Wait, this is like a real. People were taking photos of it with it at TwitchCon. Who is Grass Lord? Does anybody know about Grass Lord? Like, is there any lore about Grass Lord? Grass Lord lore. How come no one's ever made like Grass Lord lore? The lore of Tamriel's grass. Grass Lord's delicate touch at San Diego Twitch Comic Con. This is an official Twitch video. What the fuck is this? Look at this. Sorry, I know all of your eardrums were just blown. To those of you who have clogged eardrums, you're okay. To those of you who don't, they are now clogged. Has anybody ever figured out what was the Grass Lord thing? Did anybody figure out what is the Grass Lord thing? Because what was the point of this? This is Ivern? Is this Ivern from League of Legends? Whoa! I can't believe it. It's another Grass Lord! That thing is so fucking creepy. It's the fact that it's on stealth that makes it scary. It's so tall! You know what it is? This reminds me of the way that like different corporations will try and make a meme come to life. Because a lot of memes are sort of natural, right? They pop up out of nowhere. Mascots sort of form naturally. It's like that. It's like that. I've been learning actually. There's this like Kamane Tito or something. Or what's the name? Kasane Tito. She became an accidental, like an accidental mascot because she was made as a shitpost originally. Like she was made as a shitpost for Hatsune Miku, and now she's a real character with a bunch of lore, and she's also 30 years old. So it's like, but this is the natural creation of a mascot. A mascot is not created because of some intention. A mascot is created because of the reception to it, right? And so when something is created for the heck of it, and people love it, that's when it becomes a real mascot. That's when it becomes an idol, right? But when something's kind of like this, I feel like they're forcing it so much that it's difficult to imagine what is the joy of this. Tito, yeah, sorry, Tito. This is what you imagine some creatures from Slavic folk myths look like. Honestly, yeah. I've had this theory, right? If you take most of the folk myths creatures in the world and you bring them to life and they're still alive today, they'd be so funny. What is this? Because they wouldn't even be scary. Like you hear about things like, oh, the demon in the swamp. This is it. This is the demon in the swamp. The demon in the swamp isn't neat. Okay? NEET. They stay in the basement all day long. They watch anime and they good. It's Teto. Oh, I'm gonna call it Tito. Like Tito, like a Tostito. But yeah. Thank you all for joining me. And for teaching me things about you all, that you're all more normal than me, but I suspected that a long time ago. I genuinely suspected that all of you are far more normal than I am. Actually, we have one more test that we can do. One more test that we can do. And I know exactly what test. I need to find it. Unless I lost it in the... Oh, shit. Test list? No, test... Personality tests. No, not IDR Labs. No, what's that website? It's like free. No, what's that like free fun? No, what's the other? God damn it, I lost it. I had to go back in my VODs and find that one website where we found like a bunch of tests around like what is your personality based on other random things that people made out of nowhere. When is perfect beach weather? Right now. You should get. You should. No, I was sorry. It was incredibly inappropriate of me. I was gonna say you should get naked right now, but people don't go to the beach naked. What I should have said was you should get ready and put your bikini on right now. Technically, this is like perfect beach weather. There's actually I like because like what you need for beach weather is like hot weather, hot temperature, and you just need the water to cool you off, right? So you might as well just go all the way in and have it now. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. I'm sorry. Is it heat stroke weather? Well, yeah, but you know, if you die, that's on you. if you die, if you die, that's on you. And there's nothing that anybody can do to save you. And it's a skill issue, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure that most people would probably live, despite the intense heat. Despite the intense heat, I think most people would live in some way. I have a song for you all today, by the way. This song is yet another Cowboy Bebop song, but I really like how the song is. I don't think I've ever played this song because when I search through my notes, nothing comes up. So I don't think that this has ever been played, but I don't know if I'm searching correctly in order to narrow down the exact search term. Like I don't know if this is actually working. So hopefully this is something that you've never heard before. If it is, then I'm sorry. As you know, we've had too many streams now, which is interesting, and so I don't actually remember everything because there's been so much happening that I don't know. If you're going to the beach and you have a heat stroke, that's a skill issue. But if you're going to the beach, you should listen to this on the drive there, and then just look at the ocean. Just stare at the ocean and just think about your life. There's something interesting about the song that I really enjoy. It has a certain vibe to it. It's almost like weirdly playful while also being incredibly emotive at the same time. It's a very weird song. I also really like the lyrics of the song, and I like specifically that it has French in it in a way that I would not have expected. And it's interesting because when you go to the YouTube video version of this and you look at the comments on YouTube, people say some of them have never heard French before. And I'm like, how do you go your entire life without hearing a single bit of a language? But I've never heard somebody speak Polish. So how do I know that that's a real language? I don't know, but I've never heard it. I just know that it exists. I just know that Poland exists, but I've never heard the language. So there is something there. Most people have never heard Vietnamese. I've grown up with it, but most people don't even know that exists. Were it not for the war, I think were it not for the war, I think we'd still be on the island like a mythical people. I've never heard Indonesian being spoken, only in that one song. So you know what? Enjoy the last bits of French you'll ever hear on the stream, because I would never play a French ever again. Let me pin the song. You should save this. And I don't know if I've ever played it, but I don't think I have because it's nowhere in my notes. And I usually always keep the songs that I play in my notes. Please enjoy. And if you're going to the beach, one, wear clothing. Well, not too much clothing. Can I say something about the beach? We've invented an activity that is fundamentally about you getting as naked as possible without you getting naked. Like, is that not just the sexiest thing that you could do? But at the same time, it's like we have to pretend like it's not sexy. Like I have to pretend that like people in a bikini is like, and like just their like trunks is not sexy while we're all trying to like not die from the heat. And what's crazy too is that we invented clothing to protect us from the temperature, like from the weather. Okay, we invented clothing to protect us from the sun, right? And yet we've decided that we want to take the clothing off when you encounter the sun. Like you should be wearing, I don't know how to tell you this, but like if you wear clothing, you block the sun rays from killing you. And then some clothing can get the heat off of you by like pushing it away and having a different like absorption rate for the rays of light. So there's something weird about the beach. Clothes are a social construct. Your partner will beat me up for these out-of-pocket comments. Fist. Well, no, he would think the same way because as we learned last night, he's an absolute gooner. But yeah, I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just saying that for like everybody, right? Like everybody, again, like it is a weird place to be on the beach where I'm like, I don't know if I want to be here. It's incredibly uncomfortable. It's incredibly hot. The sun is beaming down on you. And you can't, if you wear clothing on the beach, it's because you don't want to be too hot, because you want the sun rays to get off of you, and you don't want to look sexy, you get looked at as weird. It's like, buddy, I just want to play in the sand. I just want to make a sandcastle and go in the water, okay? I don't want to look sexy. It's not my problem. Please enjoy. Okay, so I thought there would be more at the end there, but it's one of those songs that I think what happens is when they digitize the song, I think they have this like very long segment at the end before the person who's recording it from whatever physical disc it was pushed over from stop, it like hits the stop record button. But yeah, that's a very interesting song. The French hurts your ears if you know French because it's pronounced with a very heavy Japanese accent, obviously, because the singer is themselves Japanese. That's also from the Cowboy Bebop anime. I was just going through the entire OST list of like various shows because I was like, I feel like a lot of shows have a really good OST, but you basically never think about them in terms of real music. It's weird because I still sort of am reminded of this, especially within games. How you can listen to a song within a game and you go, this is an amazing song. But because it's in the game, it never really gets recognized. Like the last time that I can remember a song from a game being recognized, and my information is probably very outdated, is the song from, I think, Civilization. When it won, I think it was a Nobel in music. I can't remember it. Civilization song winning Nobel, winning prize. Civilization game song. Baba Yetu, yeah. It won the Grammy. It was the first video game piece ever to win a Grammy for the actually game. Sorry, I'm so gassy. Yeah, video game songs that have won Grammys. And I know it's weird to say that because it's kind of like who cares about the Grammys, but at least for me, it's the ability for it to be recognized for what it is in a more casual, normal context. Because I was just thinking about this because I've been sort of deep into my own project. There's a lot that goes into making something that's creative that you watch for different reasons. And yet, when you think about the entire composition of it, it's fascinating how good it is. Recently, I watched all of Ghost in the Shell, 1996. Well, not all of it. I think I fell asleep for like bits of it because it was with me and my wife, and we tried it, and we fell asleep. But I was just thinking to myself, sort of, at least based on what I remember of it, just how evocative the entire experience was, but not just from a visual standpoint, from everything, like the design, the sound design standpoint, from the actual like world building standpoint, from the weird ways that it views the world. And I was thinking of that for the same way for a show like Cowboy Bebop, where like you watch the show for the storyline and this sort of like beautiful cinematography, effectively, but then you sort of ignore every other aspect of it too. Seems like I am highly likely to nod off with watching a movie. My wife and I had different reasons for nodding off. I'm gonna say this: my wife and I had different reasons for nodding off. But you are correct. You are correct. But yeah, it's fascinating to sort of look at a whole piece of media like this and just see that there's so much effort being put into it, but so little of it is something that you pay attention to. It's all used to build up a much larger scene, and so it's kind of crazy to me to think about. But I've had this thought of comparing creative people, and I wonder. I think creative people. There's like different tiers of creative people, and I don't know if this is a good thing to say, but I'm gonna throw it out there because I'm hoping that somebody can prove me wrong. The person who only makes music, that's fantastic that you only make music. But video games have music too. Like video games have like so many hours of music, and a lot of it is almost album worthy songs. And for no reason at all. It's absurd. A lot of it is also background tracks for the sake of feeling, right? But I look at it in the same way as a movie, where a movie might have like multiple songs in it. And I think to myself, well, this is like having a whole album, but for a movie that you watch over 2 hours. It's as if you're getting a visual component to an album listening, which I've always thought about. I feel like more albums should do an entire video series. And I know this is a weird thing to say, and I need you to understand, I know nothing about this person, and so I don't agree with anything that they do, but this one thing I thought was genius. Machine Gun Kelly had a weird switchover when he went from hip-hop. Was it hip-hop? Was it rap? I'm pretty sure it was rap. Into rock. When he went into just this like strange rock mix, and he made an entire video, almost like movie for it. And you watch it, and you're like, wow, this is an entire movie that's being played to the soundtrack of this album. I always thought that was genius because like a lot of album music videos sort of get close to that, right? I think Kendrick Lamar is my favorite in terms of the way that he composes his music videos, but they're all self-contained. There's like no overarching lore that I sort of crave from in the same way that you would watch a movie not for one scene. Nobody Actually, I take it back. People watch the Minecraft movie for one scene, but like most people watch a movie for the entire movie, right? The Minecraft movie is an outlier where everyone's just there to hear him say "chicken jockey," right? And that's it. But to me, like, I'm surprised that more people don't do that for their albums and like put together something that you can watch as a whole viewing experience to help guide you through this world, because a lot of albums are very evocative and they all have a lot of albums have a large large interweaving, or sorry, what's the word, a large encompassing lore. Like Daniel Caesar's Freudian album, I actually think his Freudian album is peak storytelling. It's a fantastic album for storytelling. It's a really, really great album that details this person's journey through themselves and through their feelings and through the things that happen to them, that is also represented within the songs and themselves and comes through in the lyrics, in the compositions of the songs. It's fantastic. And it's like the only thing missing is the visuals. And if you add that, all of a sudden you have like a timeless piece that you could show to aliens 2,000 years in the future. Like, this is humanity. Anyway, someone's gonna come in and be like, "You don't know art. That's not true. It's not the same. Okay, a movie and an album is not the same as a video game soundtrack. You fucking loser." It's okay. I'm gonna move on now. And thank you all for joining me on this little morning trip. I hope you enjoyed the song as well. Please save that song. Listen to the entire soundtrack, actually. The entire soundtrack for the show is very discordant. It doesn't have this overarching theme. But the one theme that I did learn is that when you give two creative people basically infinite money in a time when your country is also like a major export like a major economy with like major exports, you can do a lot. You can do a lot of art. I think the only problem with the art today is that there's not enough money going to the artists, so they can't make cool shit anymore. We're gonna move on now. This game, I think, is safe for work, but I don't really know. It depends on what your definition of safe for work is. As far as I know, I can Yoko Kanno supremacy. Yeah, I like actual supremacy, but also it's just that but before I continue, I've read multiple interviews about how that show came about and their way of bouncing off each other. It's the way that Yoko Kanno and Yoko Kanno. I'm gonna pronounce it like a dirty American who doesn't know anything. Yoko Kanno, the way that Yoko Kanno and what's the showrunner's name? Shinichiro Watanabe. The way that they both bounced off of each other for the creation of the show, and the way that they've both expressed that, you know, they would have an idea for an episode, she would make a song, and then he would listen to the song, change the idea, and then she would look at the new idea, and then she would change her like song. That type of process must be fascinating to go through, because like that's two different worlds speaking in their own language, right? And yet they were able to communicate in their own languages the same emotions. I think that's the most beautiful part about it, is that it's not just the people involved, it's the process too. Because I don't know how to say this. A lot of people don't want to speak a language with each other. And yet, this is something interesting to think about. Even if you don't speak the same language, I've seen two people communicate almost an endless amount of information despite never having spoken any word that the other person could ever understand. And you see it all the time. You see it all the time if you work in a place that's very tourist heavy. If you work in a place that's very tourist heavy, a person can say a lot with just the way that they feel and the way that they express their feelings. And you can say a lot by taking in their feelings and understanding it, right? And it's beautiful in that way, because in doing so, you immediately hone in on what makes an experience so special. because an experience is ultimately not the thing that you do. The thing that you do could be anything, but we have memories that span things as simple as waking up in the morning to as complex as skydiving, or as complex as like shooting a rocket into space. Not that I've done that. And these memories that you have, the reason why they range in terms of complexity is not because the complexity is what matters. The complexity and like the scale and the scope of what you do isn't the point, right? The point of the memories is the feelings that you felt in the moment and how special they were to you. It is the meaning behind something that ultimately is what sticks within your heart and within your mind. And that's the beauty of communicating in such a way, at least to me, when I heard about it, because I was like, you cut through all the noise, and what you end up with is just the feeling. What you end up with is the raw emotion behind something. And so there's almost no barrier to how you can communicate, because you are now communicating heart to heart. And that shows in every single thing that was done in that show, right? And that's a hard thing to do. And I imagine that's probably why many people don't have a creative partner. Because it's like, I don't have a creative partner necessarily. I have like some creative people that I can work with, like my brothers, right? But that's sort of like a whole different thing. But in terms of like a true creative partner, in the way that like you'd have like a partner, it's very hard to find that, right? Even my wife and I, like, we're both in sync on a lot of things, but her creativity is very different from mine. And I don't know how to necessarily speak perfectly to her yet. And this is having been together for like most of our lives. You know, like communication is like a long-term process that you have to get better at. And, you know, you commit to getting better at it, but it always takes time. And it's always sort of like my goal to eventually get there with her. Because then I think then all of a sudden it's there's no barriers between us. It's better. Wait, what's better? What's better? What? I have short-term memory loss. You can't just say it's better and then expect me not to know what to say. And expect me to know what you're talking about. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. I'm in a flow state. So this is my Dracula flow. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm like the old guy saying like, I'm smoking up a fat dumpy. I'm clapping your mother's cheeks. Your dick is so stumpy. She suck your dick with a beak. It's all her creative process. No. Well, actually, I think so, but I wish I could understand why it's better. Now this time it's not your memory. You're confused too. I'm gonna go back to Dracula Flow. I feel like Dracula Flow is more understandable than what we just heard. Everyone, listen to Dracula Flow as I start the next game. I still can't get into the mind of somebody who makes that. Like, it's such a good video because it is absolutely nonsensical, the things that he says, but it's the way that he flows that really hits hard. And yet, if you dissect it a little, some of it actually does hit very, very well. I think number one's the best one. I think number two it's like still good, but then number three and four fall off hard. But I still think that the whole thing is a masterpiece as a whole. It's the kind of madness that you would only expect from somebody like that. It's like he tries to rap without the music, which is exactly what it is. But it's also the way that he goes about it. It feels like he doesn't want to rap. Like, it feels like that's just the way that he talks. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like that's the way that he is. It doesn't feel like he's rapping. It feels like he's giving a sermon, the way that a priest would. It's just the way that he is. It's called poetry. So true, chat. So true. Anyways, we have to move on. We don't have too much time. We're going to go into Dream Daddy. I heard this game isn't super long, but I'm very curious to see how long it is. We'll try and get through as many routes as we can because I'm curious about this one. But I've been looking forward to this because I don't recall playing it. I think I've only ever watched someone play it, but not heavily in detail. And that's why I know nothing about it. There's actually another game as well for the month of Pride, for the Pride month stuff. And we'll see if we can finish them before the end of the month, because again, I'm busy all the way until the end of the month. So every stream is only 4 hours. So we'll see how it goes. You would not call this poetry. Well, it's you're right. It's not poetry. It's the word of God. Okay, but for real though, bye everyone. I have to go. Today's a short stream. Sorry about starting late. Starting late was really the thing that got me to do it shorter. It's right at the time when I have to go. My silent alarm has rung. It's silent, but I feel it the way it jingles in my pocket. So I have to go. Tomorrow, I swear I'll start on time, and we'll continue this game. And I might have another weird thing for us to do before the main game. It really depends, but usually I have something weird for us to do before the main game, and then we'll do that for a bit as we move on to the main games. But also, I'm going to switch around some games at some point, because at some point I will run out of, like, desire to play only dating sims. And so, you know, that will happen, but not anytime soon. Bye, everyone. Have a great night. Have a great day. Maybe I can raid somebody this time, which I never really get to do. The people who usually raid me, because I really don't... I feel bad about people who raid me, because I never get to raid them. But it also feels kind of weird to say, because if you said that in ye olden days. If you said that in ye olden days, like I want to raid you instead of you raiding me, it'd be a declaration of war, but on Twitch it's a declaration of love. In some way. I don't actually love them. Okay, sorry, I made it weird. Bye everyone!